Battle of Kleidion. From Wikipedia. The Battle of Kleidion took place on July 29, 1014, between the Byzantine Empire and the Bulgarian Empire. It was the culmination of the nearly half-century struggle between the Byzantine Emperor Basil II and the Bulgarian Emperor Samuel in the late 10th and early 11th centuries. The result was a decisive Byzantine victory. The battle took place in the valley between the mountains of Belositsa and Ograjdan, near the modern Bulgarian village of Kleidion. The decisive encounter occurred on July 29 with an attack in the rear by a force under the Byzantine general Nikephoros Xiphias, who had infiltrated the Bulgarian positions. The ensuing battle was a major defeat for the Bulgarians. Bulgarian soldiers were captured and reputedly blinded by order of Basil II, who would subsequently be known as the Bulgar Slayer. Samuel survived the battle, but died 2 months later from a heart attack, reportedly brought on by the sight of his blind soldiers. Although the engagement did not end the First Bulgarian Empire, the Battle of Kleidion reduced its ability to resist Byzantine advances, and it has been considered the pivotal encounter of the war with Byzantium. Prelude. Samuel knew that the Byzantine army would have to invade the country through a series of mountain passes, and so took precautions to bar them. The Bulgarians built ditches along the frontier and fortified many of the valleys and passes with walls and towers, especially the pass of Kleidion on the Struma River, which Basil would need to pass through to reach the heart of Bulgaria. Samuel heavily fortified the northern slopes of the Belositsa mountain to the south and east of Strumitsa Castle. The wide valley of the Strumitsa River was a convenient place for attack, and it had been used by Byzantine forces for this purpose in previous years. The Bulgarians disposed a strong guard to keep the pass safe. In addition, the Bulgarian ruler chose Strumitsa for his defensive base. It was located on the road from Thessaloniki leading to Thrace to the east and Ohrid to the west. The rugged terrain to the south was dotted with earthworks and walls guarded by strong Bulgarian units. Samuel's decision to face Basil II and the bulk of his army at Kleidion was not only prompted by the constant defeats and invasions which had devastated the country, but also by concerns over his authority among the nobility, which had been fatally weakened by Basil's campaigns. In 1005, for example, the governor of the important Adriatic port of Dyrrhachium had surrendered the town to Basil II. To face this threat, Samuel gathered a large army to face the Byzantines, some claiming it numbered as many as 45,000 soldiers. Basil II also prepared carefully, assembling a large army of his own and taking his most experienced commanders, including the governor of Philippopolis, modern Plovdiv, Nicephorus Xiphias, who had conquered the old Bulgarian capitals Pliska and Preslav from Samuel in 1001. Battle. The Byzantine army marched from Constantinople through Komotini, Drama and Seras and reached the Rupel Pass on the Struma River. From there the army entered the Strumitsa Valley and reached the vicinity of the village of Kleidion, where the river bent and approached Belositsa and Ograjdan. There the army was stopped by a thick wooden wall, defended by Bulgarian soldiers. The Byzantines attacked the palisade immediately, but were repulsed with heavy casualties. In response, Samuel sent a large army under one of the most able Bulgarian nobles, Nestoritsa, to strike southwards and draw the attention of Basil away from the siege at Kleidion. Nestoritsa's Bulgarians reached Thessalonica, but Byzantine troops under Theophylact Botanades, the governor of the city, and his son Mihail managed to defeat them outside the city walls in a bloody battle. Theophylactus captured many soldiers and a large quantity of military equipment and marched north to join Basil II at Kleidion. Basil II's first attempt to overwhelm the defenders of the pass was unsuccessful, and his army was unable to pass through the valley, which was defended by 15,000 to 20,000 Bulgarians. Despite the difficulties, the Byzantine emperor did not abandon the attack. He ordered his general Nicephorus Xiphias to maneuver his troops around the high Belisitsa mountain and threaten the Bulgarians from behind, while he continued the assaults on the wall. Xiphias led his troops along a steep path that led him into the Bulgarians' rear. On July 29, Xiphias attacked the Bulgarian defenders, trapping them in the valley. The Bulgarians abandoned their towers to face this new threat, and Basil was able to break through the front line and destroy the wall. In the confusion of the rout, thousands of Bulgarian troops were killed, and the remainder desperately attempted to flee westwards. Samuel and his son Gabriel Radomir immediately headed to the east from their headquarters in the Strumitsa fortress to aid their army, but in desperate fighting near the village of Mokrievo, present-day North Macedonia, they were overwhelmed by the quickly advancing enemy. Many Bulgarian soldiers were killed at Mokrievo and many more were captured. Emperor Samuel himself barely escaped, only breaking free through the bravery of his son, who mounted his father on his own horse and took him to safety in Prilep. From Prilep, Samuel returned to Prespa while Gabriel Radomir headed towards Strumitsa to continue the struggle. After his victory, Basil II advanced towards Strumitsa, which was key to holding the whole Vardar Valley. On their way to the city, the Byzantines seized the Matsukion fortress to the east of their advance. The Byzantine emperor also sent an army under Botanaeus to surround Strumitsa and destroy all ramparts to the south and clear the passage to Thessalonica. With the remainder of his troops, Basil laid siege to the city itself. The Bulgarians allowed Botanaeus to destroy the fortifications, but he and his army were ambushed by Bulgarian raiders in a narrow valley, soon after their task was complete. In the ensuing battle, Botanaeus was completely defeated and the Bulgarian commander Gabriel Radomir personally stabbed Botanaeus with his spear. As a result, Basil II was forced to abandon the siege of Strumitsa and retreat. On the return, the eloquence of the Cubicularius Sergius convinced the defenders of Melnik to surrender, another heavy blow for the Bulgarians as the town guarded the main road to Sofia from the south. Prisoners. Skylitzes records that Basil completely routed the Bulgarian army and took 15,000 prisoners. Basil divided the prisoners into groups of 100 men. Blinded 99 men in each group and left one man in each with one eye, so that he could lead the others home. This was done in retaliation for the death of Botanaeus, who was Basil's favorite general and advisor, and also to crush the Bulgarian morale. Another possible reason was that, in Byzantine eyes, the Bulgarians were rebels against their authority, and blinding was the usual punishment meted out to rebels. For this action, Basil gained the nickname Bulgariktonos, the Bulgar slayer. Samuel died of a heart attack on October 6, 1014, reportedly due to seeing his soldiers blinded.